Good morning. It's Friday, April the 17th, and this is The Drill. Thank you very much. I'm Ron, your host and the only true conservative in the United States today, because I don't take my cues from the left, and I will not pretend to be neutral. I will not simply give you the facts and let you decide. I am partisan, and I'm here to convince and persuade. I will tell you what to do, where to go, and how to hang your laundry. I created this podcast because I wanted to answer the question that I hear most conservatives ask, which is, what can I do? My podcast is short, approximately 5 to 10 minutes long, because shorter podcasts are easier to download and listen to, and shorter podcasts force me to get to the point. I've been listening to conservative talk radio since 1989. I've grown up in a socialist household, and I've been seeing the destructive effects of socialism up close and personal. My podcast is made available through Spreaker and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. Today, what can I do? Quote of the day, political theater, and how to live your life. All that when I come back. Thank you. What can I do? Be partisan. Avoid neutrality. How do you be partisan? By making value judgments. Give accolades to those who are right and condemnation to those who are wrong. Avoid analysis. Avoid psychoanalysis. Avoid political analysis. Who cares why Nancy Pelosi is holding up the stimulus bill? The true question is about the righteousness of her actions. Is Miss Pelosi doing the right thing? Avoid the temptation to understand. Analysis leads to understanding, and understanding is the enemy of righteous thinking. It is the enemy because it very often is the fruit of a determinist tree, and determinism is dead. Miss Pelosi is forced, allegedly, because of powers beyond her control, to do what she does. Baloney. Miss Pelosi and the rest of us all have free will. Next up, quote of the day. Thank you very much. The quote of the day comes from the book Rules for Retrogrades by Timothy and David Gordon. Why the boomers, baby boomers, are comfortable scolding retrogrades for not closely adhering to their losing set of rules of engagement is anyone's guess. Consider this. In just a couple of decades, from the 1960s to the 1970s, America's culture was successfully co-opted and transformed by a loud minority of strung-out radicals, while conservative boomers, hamstrung by their ill-conceived sensibilities, offered mere token resistance, giving way at every turn. 20 years' time gave us no-fault divorce, abortion on demand, ubiquitous contraception, mainstream feminism, the working mother, religious indifferentism, the welfare state in the form of the Great Society, draconian environmentalism, destigmatized drug use and fornication, and a watershed federal piece of gun control legislation, the Gun Control Act of 1968. Unquote. Next up, political theater. Thank you. Always consider political theater when observing political activities. Remember that when you get right down to it, everybody in D.C. is an incumbent. Their first loyalty is not to their party, but to themselves. And remember that the grandest piece of political theater was the Contract with America by Newt Gingrich and company. There's a big conflict between Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell about a stimulus bill going on right now. If you check your email box, I think you'll find that you've got more than a few fundraising requests from either Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, or very possibly both. And it should surprise nobody if it turns out that this current impasse between Republicans and Democrats has been choreographed, that the Senate Majority Leader and the Speaker of the House got together and staged the whole thing, such as for fundraising and for getting out the vote. Because after all, this is a presidential election year. Coming up, what should I do with my life? Thank you very much. I've heard many callers to Rush Limbaugh ask him what they should do with their lives. Rush always gives them what is in essence a left-wing response. Do what you love. That answer is very romantic, but it's not very Christian and not very conservative. The correct answer to that question is do what God has called you to do. Other than that, one should be smart, be honest, and be beautiful. Back in a minute. Who is the true conservative? He's the person that has the courage of his convictions and is confident in what he knows. He's the person that understands that cultural conservatism is more important than political conservatism. He's not selfish, but minds his own business. He acts like an adult. He's patriotic and uses common sense. He expresses what he knows and does so with certainty. He makes judgments, refuses to speculate, speaks clearly and definitively, and is not afraid to say no. He's open-minded, asking why rather than why not. He is consistent, credible, and influential. Not ashamed of his existence, unafraid to learn or correct his mistakes. He is a normal American, and he is better than the socialist. He's a better friend, father, brother, family member, and a better person, period. You have to know that. If you don't know with every fiber of your being that being a true conservative is best, then you're wasting your time. And that brings me to the end of another episode of The Drill. Remember that the left has no authority, no power, and they can't win. Think about it.